I call to order the Design Review Board for March 1st, 2022. The first item on the agenda are the minutes of February 1st and February 15th, 2022. Do we have any questions or corrections? If not, then I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes. Do I have a motion? Thank you, Cheryl. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Amy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. The next item is Lamode at 33 Newtown Lane. Is the applicant present?
I am. Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
See everybody again.
Yes. Can you explain what your request is?
Yes, sir. So last time we had met, we received the approval for the window, the mobile window. I believe what we're discussing today is the color of the mobile window. As far as the framing is concerned, I believe that there were a few reservations or some questions that needed to be addressed. So I'd love to address those with everybody. The other purpose is for the awning approval. We are at that point where we're ready to, we had submitted the awning, proposed awnings. We're asking for approval on those awnings so we can go ahead and move forward with that. So I believe those are the two things on the agenda.
Okay. And did you submit a color? There was a question about the
Yes,
color
sir.
of the paint. And what
Yes,
color?
so
Yes.
it's a Pantone color. We did submit a swatch. It's an exact swatch that we use to match all of our merchandising, all of our products, everything. It is the same color we've been using for about 7 years now. And it's basically part of our brand. So I know that somebody had a question of if it's an actual paint color or not. And the answer is yes, it is. There is a paint color, and the way that process works is that we provide that swatch, the same swatch that we provided to everybody for review. They go ahead and they match that swatch with a type of powdered paint. I guess it's similar to like a car, but it's a custom paint that they would use, and they would go ahead and they would basically cover the framing with that color and coat it as well.
Yeah, so it's a high gloss. It's a high gloss
Yes,
because a car paint is very high gloss.
Yeah, I'm just using it as an example of how they use it as a custom paint.
Oh.
How it's something that's protective. It's something that is weather protective. It is a paint that's used in a professional manner.
So I'm sorry, I didn't hear if it is a high gloss or not.
I can get the answer of if the term high gloss is used in this type of field, because I know that the different types of paint have different versions of what they call it, but it does have a coating on it, and that coating is a protective coating. If they consider that a gloss, I can get that clarity if you would like, but it's a protected color.
So can you give us the name of the company that you get your paint from? Because I'm not familiar with this application as an exterior paint.
So I can find, so basically the way that it works, and I can find the name of the company, is that the company that we're using to do the actual framing of the window is Otto. It's a local window company in the area. They are sourcing out, once they get the framing, they're sourcing out that company that will do the actual custom paint job on the actual framing and then send it to us already custom painted. So basically I can find out who that company is. Unfortunately, the company we're directly in contact with is Auto Glass.
Okay. So how will you transpose this to the stripes on your awnings?
How do we, I don't understand the question, sir, as far as transpose it. It matches the awning completely.
And I'm sorry, Anne, what is your opinion?
Yeah, my internet just kind of went down for part of that. I don't know. I know in using a Pantone color, and when I've gone to match an exterior or at match paint, Pantone is used for, am I frozen again? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Yep.
can hear and see you.
Okay. Pantone is normally used for Pantone colors for printing colors, not for house paint or commercial paint. So that's why I was asking.
Yeah, this isn't a house paint, ma'am. This is a special,
But not used for commercial exterior paint. I mean, there's,
okay. Unfortunately, I'm in the ice cream business. If you ask me anything about how to make ice cream, I can tell you from from the milk, the cream to the sugar. As far as the paint is concerned, I can assure you that the company that we're using has guaranteed us that it would match. We're very specific when it comes to brand recognition, but we're very specific when it comes to how we present our brand and making sure that everything is consistent. And we have had all of our boxes that were printed, which is similar to what you had mentioned as far as the printing of it. We've had all of our boxes. We've had our current awnings at our store in New York with the same exact color. We've had everything that we've used to date. Everything has been able to match with no concerns. We've had carts that have in Legoland and carts all over in amusement parks. All of them have that same color. There has never been an issue with it matching. And I just like to let you know that unfortunately I don't have the scientific reason of why it would work, and I can try to dive a little deeper into it for you. Unfortunately, I just don't have that answer for you right now, ma'am. But I wouldn't spend the money and time and energy if it did not come out the way that it needs to come out.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. And can you continue? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying a card, all the things that you described, fabric, it's all a different color processing to a paint. And so that's why if we could have your color, know what company you're using, then we can see what the real color is, because how it transfers from a Pantone swatch to an actual paint color is different. So we just need to know what company you're using so we can get a true color of how it's on the building. And Robert, did he drop off an actual Pantone swatch to you guys?
I have. I'm sorry, I have not seen it. And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, it sounds logical of what he's saying, but this board must receive not only a swatch of the paint, but I'd also like to see a swatch of the awning so that all the board members, we're all on the same page. You know,
I agree with that.
We can't have somebody just do something and then in 3 months, suddenly, wow, it appears and it's not right. So
I do have the color swatch. Of course, it's not going to look the same via email. So,
Correct.
Yeah.
But I have provided to Panda color swatch. So she has that in her hands, and that's what we've gone off of on everything that we printed.
Okay, and do we have a swatch or a sample of the awning stripe?
No,
Because
not yet.
Okay, a lot of times whenever anybody wants to do an awning, they always submit a swatch of the color of the awning. So we would need to have a swatch of both.
Okay, I will do so. I'll do it immediately. I'll request the awning. I will request a swatch from the awning company who is on hold at the moment. So I'll request that. I will also get you the name of the company that's doing the actual paint work that is subcontracted from the company that I'm working directly with. So I will find out from them who it is and what company that they're using.
Okay, and we would want a swatch of that, and we also want to have a swatch. We would like to know, on that swatch, it should demonstrate if it's high gloss, if it's satin, whatever the the makeup is.
Yeah, of course. Sure.
Okay.
Understood. I'll have all of that for you. My question though is this a concern about matching properly, or the concern about having a color on the actual awning and having a color on the actual frame? Is it that you're concerned that it won't match is that the biggest reservation here?
No,
Is
we-
it-
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Ann.
No, we need to be able to see the actual color.
Yes.
We need to see what the actual color is gonna look like.
Okay,
And
but
we actually, I'm sorry, from what you're saying, Pantone, first of all, I don't know what a Pantone color really is. And I mean, it should actually, they should look like we don't expect it to be identical probably because, you know, of course we understand
Different
fabric
materials.
is one thing painted, but we would like to see what it looks like before we go ahead and give an approval because that's how we just simply do business here.
okay, so you have the actual Pantone swatch you've had for a little over a month or so. I will get you the ones that you're requesting now. Is this something that's going to require another hearing? Because what's happening, what's going to happen is, unfortunately, I can't get started on fabrication until I get approval. And, I'm a little concerned on timing on this.
Well, no,
The board meets in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
okay, why don't we do this? You'll have the swatches in with Pam, drop them off so that the board members can go over and look at it, and also a swatch of the fabric with the stripe, and we'd like to just see that. And then we could put the fabric and the paint swatch together and see how they match. That would give all of the board members an opportunity to see what it looks like before we just blindly go ahead and say it's okay. And then if it doesn't look good, what are we going to do then?
No, I fully understand. And our backup would be to go with white. If it winds up that they fabricated, because this is something that is a couple of month process for them to do so because of the custom print. If it wound up not matching the way that we had expected, then our backup was to go ahead and cover it and paint it white. So just to give you an idea or let you know that we are already covering ourselves just in case things that are out of our control come about and they wind up shipping over something that does not match exactly what it is that we intended for it. We're not going to go and get them to try to redo it again, spend another 3 months. We're just not going to go that process. So our next step would be,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just, while we're discussing it, does anybody have issue with pink while we're
No,
having this conversation?
I don't have any issue with pink or any color that I think there might have been awnings with pink already or something like this. I don't
Okay.
have a problem with the pink.
Do you
Okay.
think that it matches the exterior of the building? How we feel it would look on that building?
any concerns on the pink and white stripes?
No, not for
Okay.
myself. I'm for it. We just try to understand here what we're trying to do is we want to see what it looks like. That's all.
I understand. No, I fully
Okay.
understand. Mhm.
Okay.
I think I'd
All right.
rather see a solid color on that building. The building is all white. That I don't really see why you need an awning on it anyway.
Well, because he's got the window that I think there's the window that you can serve from.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
you would need an awning to have protection from weather, so.
And the
I-
aesthetic of just the
Yeah.
the feel of the store.
I actually thought the drawing, I think you did a very nice job with the drawings and your
Thank you.
awnings and we're not questioning the design of it. We think you did a beautiful job. We're only
Thank you.
questioning the two colors that they somewhat are in the same field.
Completely
No.
understood. Now, one last question for you, if you don't mind. The awning swatch, I don't think that there's any issue with. I believe I can pick that up in the next day or so and have that
Okay.
dropped off. The only concern I might have is because of it coming from a third party on the frame, and I don't know where they are, and it's going to take time for research, and then for them to even be able to have one fabricated, sent over to you, having you being able to see that swatch. Is there anything else that I can have as a backup to be able to provide to you other than the company name and the type of cloth that they're going to be using, without having a physical swatch of the frame.
One idea, and I don't know if this will sit well with you, but one of the ideas, how about if you want this to move in a timely manner, why don't you go ahead and have one of your designers or somebody who's in charge of the coloring or whatever yourself, why don't you simply go over, take your swatch of fabric and bring it over to a Benjamin Moore or one of these local paint companies and pick up a swatch that will look like what you're going to do. I mean, there has to be something within reason. You know, there's 50 shades of pink?
Oh, no one, without a doubt, I could do that with no issue. It's because they can custom match as close as that swatch as possible. So I can go ahead and just prove the fact that the paint can match the swatch of the Pantone that I've already provided to you. That wouldn't be an issue, but it won't answer the question that you had about, how it would look on the frame itself. That we won't know until they custom it, until they actually fabricate it.
Anybody want to respond to that? My personal opinion is, why don't you just simply pick up a swatch, pick up a paint chip? Let's not make it more complicated than it has to be.
Specify if it's going to be semi-gloss,
That's
high
right.
gloss, and just specify that as well. And I think that would be able to be enough, is the color and the finish.
Absolutely. Amy has a
Then
good
you have
point
something
there.
to go by.
Yeah, we just have to have a sample.
I fully understand. I hope you don't think in any way I'm trying to disregard. I completely understand everything that you're asking for.
Okay, we need to simplify the thought process here.
I understand. Sir.
Okay, so then we'll see you at the next meeting.
I guess so. Yep.
Okay,
I look
thank you.
I look forward to it. Thank you for your time, everybody. Take care.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is 50 Cross Highway. Is the applicant present?
Yes, good morning. I'm Dale Overmeyer.
Good morning, Dale. Okay. And you've resubmitted, I noticed you resubmitted a survey and additional drawings that are up to date.
Yes, as requested. I believe all the board members should have a copy of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
Yes,
do.
they do.
And Billy Heyjack, have you seen the drawings and your input?
Yeah, so that
Good
I
morning.
looked over the surveys with the building department, and it's been corrected to show that the addition does not require a variance. So from a zoning perspective, it's fine. I think it's really just the materials and colors now that the board is looking at.
Perfect. Okay. Any questions from board members? Anne, have you seen the drawings? And
I have, it seems consistent with what was, the addition seems consistent with what's there. Visually
okay,
fine.
thank you. Okay. Then I looked over the drawings. Everything looks in order, and I want to thank the applicant. You did a very nice job with this. So if there aren't any other questions, do I have a motion to approve this application?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Amy. All in favor?
I
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Have a nice day, Dale.
You too. Thanks.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is the Maidstone Club at 95 Dunmere Lane. Is the applicant present?
Yes, hi. Good morning,
Good
board
morning.
members.
Drew. Yeah.
My name is Steve Giles. I am with DB Bennett, and we serve as the engineer of record for the Maidstone Club. I'll start with telling you what it is we're proposing and why we're proposing it, and then open the floor to any questions.
Okay.
So The purpose of this is to collect puddles of water in low areas of the 16th fairway, which is the fairway south of Dunmere Lane and west of Highway Behind the Pond. We are going to collect puddles of water with perforated drainage piping underneath the fairway that will collect in an existing burn or swale along the north side of the fairway, and then enter a pump station also underground that will feed into an existing force main that will connect to a reservoir that will distribute stormwater as irrigation to the rest of the course. We did this as part of a village approval back in 2020 for the second fairway and the west side of the 16th fairway. Over the past year, we've seen its performance and it's performed as intended, and the club wishes to expand the project to the east side of the 16th fairway. We are doing this because it reduces the volume of stormwater flowing into Hook Pond and also reduces the demand of the irrigation wells, which is needed to fill the irrigation reservoir. That being said, I'll answer any questions you might have.
Okay. Anyone, any questions? Billy, have you looked at this application and what is your opinion?
Good morning, members of the board. Yeah, so this is they're sort of piggybacking on the work that was done in 2020 by adding more piping and as described by Steve. Because this is a special permit property, the applicant is required to obtain preliminary review by the design review board prior to going before the zoning board for the issuance of the actual special permit. And so this is that preliminary review. From a site plan perspective, I have really no concerns or questions about the project. It's more of an environmental, wetlands type of review that's going to be conducted by the zoning board. But in general, I don't have any, real concerns with it. Like I said, this is work that's been, already tried and tested at other portions of the club. And so they're just expanding it here. I guess the one question I do have is there an estimated, I guess it's weather dependent, but is there an estimated amount of water that would be collected and pumped into the holding pond?
Well, it's all dependent on the type of rain event you get. So the ponding could be anywhere from 3 to 4 inches in a moderate rainfall. So I don't know how. Do you know, Ken, by any chance, the volume of the reservoir?
I know it's 3/4 of an acre reservoir.
Okay.
Not exactly sure how many gallons, but again, it's totally a stormwater collection. It's worked well since we put it in.
Mm-hmm.
John Genovese, our superintendent, has accurate data in terms of how many gallons of water we've actually recycled.
Okay.
But that's really the word. It's recycled. Just takes the stormwater, goes into the pipes, gets brought back to the pond and recirculated. To irrigate the golf course. It saves on the use of the aquifer, and we view it as a good thing.
I'll also say that the perforated piping is designed to be above the groundwater table, so it's only collecting stormwater, not pumping from groundwater.
Wondering about that.
Do they call this a French drain? When the pipe is perforated?
Yeah. So
drain?
What we used last time is called Easy Flow, and it's perforated piping wrapped in pellets and also wrapped in geotextile fabric to keep sediment from collecting in the perforated pipe. And all of this is about 18 inches to 2 feet below grade.
Right. Thank you. I've seen this done. Okay. Any other questions from our board? Any board members have any questions regarding this?
Will there be any areas where the pipe will be exposed, or it will be all underground?
All underground.
I think it's all underground.
Right.
It looks on the plan.
The only thing that will be above ground is the control panel for the pump station, which will be on a small H-frame, which we are proposing to locate in the pathway from Dunemere to the 16th green, which will be screened by cattails and Phragmites.
Okay. It sounds complete. Okay. So any other board members, any questions, comments?
No, I
Pam,
think it-
anybody? Cheryl?
It's a good layout.
Yeah.
I think that that area does collect quite a lot of water. So I think it's a good plan.
Okay. Okay, then, if there aren't any other questions or comments, this concludes our preliminary, review, and we'll send this off to the ZBA for
Yep.
approval, for final,
Kind of get their take on it.
And then
yes,
it will come back to you when the zoning board is done.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, okay, then, this concludes our preliminary review. Thank you all for that.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the Guildhall, 158 Main Street. Are the applicants present?
Yes.
Good morning, Andy.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Hello.
Andrew Goldstein for the applicant. This is here for preliminary review by your board. This is a special permit property. It is going to the zoning board. Peter Penoyer, the applicant, the architect on the project, is here, and he will take you through what Guildhall proposes.
Okay, thank you. Welcome, Peter. Can you just describe the application?
Yes, and I could share my screen if you wish, but I think I can describe it fairly easily to because since you're so familiar with Guildhall. Our firm was hired specifically to restore Guildhall in its appearance as it was originally and remove some non-original features that really diminish the appearance of the building and to make it more accessible and to make it more sustainable.
Yes, I did.
So on Main Street, we are removing the non-original aluminum doors, and those have signage in the arches above the doors. We're also replacing the two pylons with one. We are introducing a light well, which will bring light and air and fire egress to the offices in the basement, which are underserved at this point. In addition, we're restoring the paint and the brick where necessary. We're replacing the shutters, and we are also replacing the storms and non-original windows with new replica windows, which will be insulated and also backed up with louvers, instead of this situation right now where you're simply looking into the back of sheetrock and framing. So this is our approach on Main Street. There will be two additional areas of pea gravel flanking the door with some temporary seating because as it stands now, theater patrons, especially the older ones, are unable to find a place to sit in intermission. So this will provide some relief there. On the roof of the main building and invisible to Main Street, we are restoring skylights that were part of the original design. Those lit into the top of the galleries. And again, those are not visible from Main Street. Those will actually be inserted in the original framing, which exists in the attic. So we're not actually making openings that are different than what were there. On Pond View, we are proposing to rationalize and make safer the existing parking area. Right now, it spills out onto the road with no defined curb cut. It's simply a wide swath of open, ill-defined. There actually is no border between what is the building and in many areas, the parking area. That will be tightened up with planted fescue borders, additional trees, and an ingress and egress from the parking. This will also provide much needed safe disabled parking spots that will lead to a path that will connect it safely to the building. We will slightly widen the door to the back of the building to allow better egress. And we will also be, and much of this is done with the Hollander's team, the landscape architects, introducing a path in the sculpture garden, which is tucked in behind the building, again, to allow accessibility and to bring grade up to the doors at the back, again, with the view to accessibility. There's almost no change on Dunmere, except that we will be adding a very low ramp to allow ADA access from both the Woodhouse Gallery and the theater to the Minnekes Garden, which is the garden that's tucked in behind the hedge at that side. And we will we'll be asking for a small low shed, which will be completely obscured by hedge for the storage of equipment and other items that are now simply lying set all over that back area under tarps and temporary shelters. So that will all be cleaned up and well obscured behind the existing hedge and new hedging. So our mandate is really to restore the building to its original appearance. I think there will be, even though it seems a small change removing the doors, I think it will make the building much more welcoming and open. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter, and it sounds very nice.
What a project.
Yeah. Any Billy Heyjack, your input on this project?
So this is very similar to Maidstone Club. It's a special permit use. So you're conducting your preliminary review prior to the applicant going to the zoning board for issuance of the special permit and variances. From a site plan review, they're making some changes that seem very welcoming and warranted. Formalizing the parking area is going to be a vast improvement over the existing parking situation. It's going to be one way in and one way out. Sort of a one-lane parking area, cleaning up the outdoor storage area with one shed. I would note the shed does comply with the height requirements and the accessory building design requirements. Overall, it seems, like a very, very nice, nice site plan. So I have no real concerns or comments relative to it. My one question is the patios. I wasn't sure the material. They're going to be pea gravel, the two patios?
Those are pea gravel, exactly. Okay. So, and we're looking for permeability all along the front. And incidentally, we're moving the rather failed Kentucky bluegrass and other grasses that require a lot of maintenance and all of that stuff, and putting in more sustainable native fescue. So the plantings themselves are looking towards a more sustainable attitude towards landscaping all the way around the building.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you. Board members, any questions? Anne?
No, I think it seems like a nice upgrade or renovate, bringing it back to how it was. So I have no.
Okay, thank you.
Comments.
Yeah, I agree
any
with
other
that.
members? Gerald? I'm sorry.
I think it's a big improvement. I think that'll look very, very nice when it gets finished. And I know the shed in the back, they've always had problems with, I guess, storage and what have you. And I think that would be a big, big help so that they can, like you said, that a lot of the things are put under tops in the back, and at least you get them in a shed out of the way. I don't think you'll be able to see it, I guess, from Dume Lane, but I think that would be a big improvement also. I think overall, I think it's a good plan.
Yeah, I see the plan as very complete, and I think it's a long time coming. And I want to just thank the applicants. It's a nicely it's nicely noted. It's nicely, looks nicely drawn out.
Thank
And okay, if there aren't any other questions or concerns about this application?
I just have one more comment.
Surely.
Just so when, after their zoning board review, if that's favorable and they're coming back to the design review board, I'd suggest if there are any changes to lighting, it would be good to see a plan or details concerning any changes to lighting. That's my only other comment, which I didn't see.
Great. Thank you, Bill.
Outdoor lighting, that is, only.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
And board
Okay.
members, we received a landscape plan yesterday afternoon, which I'll mail out to you.
Okay. Thank you,
Very good.
Pam. Okay, so we completed our preliminary review and we'll send this off to the ZBA and we'll see what happens.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
good.
you. Thank you all. Okay. Are there any other questions from the board regarding any other matters? Okay,
No,
anyone? Okay, Pam, any questions or concerns?
Nothing else.
Okay, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Cheryl. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ann, and all in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Great. See you all in 2 weeks. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you.